In late August, the L&E team were back at Loch Ness for several days to conduct more surface observations, hydrophone recordings, and to also put some new equipment to the test. Outside the quest weekend back in May, this has been our largest team yet to explore Loch Ness. So please say hello to Dave, Matty, Aga, Jared, Chris, Michael, Callum, Kira, Ellie, Anna, William, Paul, Roland and Alistair. We were delighted to welcome back Ellie, who actually took part in our first quest weekend back in 2023. Ellie's YouTube channel is great fun, so I'll provide a link in the video description below where you can watch her previous Loch Ness episode. On Friday the 29th of August, some of the team set up a mini base camp about 1.5 miles north from Invermoriston. It was a great location with a commanding view over the loch and only a short walk down to the shoreline. Now, believe it or not, we later discovered from our colleague and friend Dick Rayner that this particular location had some historical importance in relation to the Loch Ness story. Apparently, the original Loch Ness Investigation Bureau named this field a wilderness and had planned to set up their very own research and visitor facility. But unfortunately, this wish never came true. But what a wonderful coincidence. Throughout the day, our team was successful in capturing another standing wave out on the open water from that very field. Dave Hastings had set up his camera, which was trained on the loch for several hours, and when night was approaching, the camera was switched to infrared. With the sun setting, the team made their way down towards the shoreline. On my arrival, I was amazed to see that both Chris and William were actually standing in the loch with their wellies on. I was instantly reminded of a scary encounter dating back to the 1970s. That story was based on two salmon poachers from Edinburgh were setting their net up, which was around 100 metres long by 30 feet deep. When in the water, the net began to move on the loch on its own accord. Within seconds, the poacher found himself being dragged down the loch at alarming speed as he became tangled in the net. As you can imagine, this would have been a terrifying experience if true. It was later discovered that something very powerful had burst through the net and had left a 20-foot hole. So what did happen here? Did a seal get tangled in a net? Was the net snagged on a rock? Or could it have been the usual suspect, Nessie? Despite having night vision and infrared, there was nothing significant reported or captured on film apart from the standing wave and the army of relentless midges. Honestly guys, they were an absolute nightmare. The following morning was made extra special as we met with a friend and legend, Adrien Shine from the Loch Ness project. As always, Adrien offered his advice and knowledge to everyone present. He was also very kind enough to give us these. Each study and paper gives us a variety of valuable insight to Loch Ness, such as the bathymetric and seismic survey of 1991, habitats observed by sonar and underwater television, exploring sediment cores and fish habitats within Loch Ness, and many others. If you haven't done so already, then I highly recommend that you visit the Loch Ness Project website, as it's full of incredible achievements and Adrien's fieldwork. That morning with Adrien was also a significant moment for our very own Dave Hastings. During childhood, Dave's father surprised him with a promise and the adventure of exploring Loch Ness. On their arrival at Loch Ness as father and son 25 years ago, they found Adrien standing in and cleaning the old pond which was next to the Loch Ness Centre. Dave recalls Adrien stepping out of the pond and genuinely making that effort to approach him to talk about Loch Ness and the mystery of the Loch Ness monster. Dave was excited to be meeting Adrien again after so many years, and when that moment arrived, Dave took the opportunity to express his emotions and gratitude towards Adrien for making a beautiful memory between father and son. It's now come full circle, as Dave is a key member of L&E who takes great pride in his work and his own beliefs. When out on deep scan to demonstrate the hydrophone, I do genuinely love talking about the Great Glen, the individuals who have left their mark, and to also share my hopes and aspirations for the future of Loch Ness. At the end of most newsreels or documentaries based on Loch Ness, they always mention the tourist industry, which we understand and accept. Does the Nessie element attract tourists? Yeah, of course it does, absolutely. Whenever I read or hear the sentence, it's all just a tourist trap, or the Nessie phenomena is a load of bullshit, well, that actually encourages me to try harder and to reach others to explain that there's more here than meets the eye. When the young team arrive at Loch Ness, I've found that they're always full of great questions and wanting to learn more. We've seen this time and time again, and it's wonderful to see so many youngsters asking the questions about the loch's history, the geology, and the surrounding environment. Now, to me, that's not tourism. That's called education. So let's talk about our newest member of Loch Ness Exploration. We are proud to finally introduce you to Scrappy. This is our very own underwater baited camera trap. We need to say a huge thank you to the Little Loch Broom Marine Life team who joined us over the Quest weekend back in May. Both Chloe and Ant were extremely helpful, and Ant was kind enough to share his design specifications and recommendations. As you can see, Scrappy was inspired by Ant and the Little Loch Broom Marine Life team, but we decided to make some adjustments that were better suited for our needs and requirements. Now you might be wondering why we've named this equipment Scrappy. It's named after my father-in-law, Derek John Gray, but he's had a nickname for years and is known as Scrappy within the mining village. Derek pretty much built Scrappy for the L&E team, so it's only fair to name it after him. Scrappy was designed to be sturdy, adaptable, customised and altered depending on the environment both above and below the surface of Loch Ness. Scrappy has 2 underwater lights attached, a GoPro, an extended front arm where bait can be kept, and we also have 3 metal rods at the back where more cameras and lights can be attached. We originally wanted to place Scrappy fairly close by and at a max depth of 13 feet, but the team decided to go all in. So it was agreed that we would dive straight into the deep end and lowered Scrappy down into Urquhart Bay at a depth between 40 to 45 feet. Have a wee watch of this clip as Scrappy is lowered down into complete darkness. As a team, we firmly believe that this is another important milestone for L&E, as we've now got more access to the loch beyond the use of hydrophones. As you can see, the loch appears barren, with little to no vegetation, and that's due to the high volume of peat, which stops natural light reaching beyond a certain depth. That evening, Scrappy didn't capture any fish, or even the elusive Loch Ness monster. But we did capture a curious wee beastie, a micro monster. Now we've made a small adjustment to the brightness in this video, so hopefully everyone can see it more clearly. Pay attention to the left hand side of the screen. Let's take a look. Now we've had some trouble identifying this wee fella, so we turned to Adrien for more guidance and support. As you would expect, Adrien was able to identify the organism straight away. Lepidoptera county is indeed a fascinating larger clandostidon. As a predator plankton, it plays an important role in the loch's ecosystem by feeding on the smaller plankton. Its presence helps maintain the balance of the plankton community below the surface. Adrien also explained that their numbers are now in decline as we approach the winter months. What a fascinating wee beastie. We've had a great time at Loch Ness, and we couldn't be happier with Scrappy. Our team continues to grow, and we do this for you, and for those who want to learn more about Loch Ness. As long as we have your support, we're here to stay. We'll see you at the next one when we visit Loch Ness.